So it's not something that I actually set out to do, or it wasn't something that I intended to do, but I noticed that it's working. But I believe it's because Ga is my native language, so I tend to express myself more in that aspect. Like anytime I try to compose, it's either Ga or English that flows. I have a few Chi songs, but I think because it's my dialect and I speak it often, it flows naturally in that.
Your Ga, what's your Ga name?
My name is Neokai.
Neokai?
Yeah. So I had an option of either using Neokai as Perez, because I didn't want to use my real name. My real name is Frank.
Okay, Frank what?
Frank Tego.
Frank Tego.
Yeah, I didn't want to use it.
Okay, and you know there's already Neokai in the system.
Yes, so I had that option. Right. So maybe that's why I went for the Perez, because then I think Perez also sounds a bit global.
How did Perez come about?
Perez is a name I chose for myself because I understood the meaning of it. It means breakthrough. Okay. And it has this whole story about it. We're twins, and the first one was coming out, his hand was pulled back. And he brought his hand first, and they tied it with a red ribbon, they took it back, and then the second one overtook him and came instead of the first one coming. So the midwives said this is a breach of birth, and they called him Perez, which means breakthrough. And I was at a point in my life where I knew that actually I had delayed on a lot of things. I mean, places where I was supposed to be, level where I'm supposed to be on, or pedestals that I was expecting that I would be on, I was delaying. So I needed a breakthrough in my life, and I chose the name Perez because I believe that anytime somebody calls me Perez, you're actually prophesying a breakthrough for my life. Okay. And yeah, and I believe in the power of names, and it's happening. I mean, I can see
it is happening for you.
Yeah,
you haven't been in the industry for too long.
I have been.
How long?
I've been doing gospel for about 7 to 8 years now. 7 to 8 years.
Yes. Okay, so it's still a baby small.
Yeah, but I have been doing music for
a while.
A long while.
Were you a backing vocalist for anybody?
No. Unfortunately, I never got to experience any of those things. But I sing in church.
Okay.
I used to sing in church. I do sometimes nowadays, but I sang. I for like 4 or 5 years I was in the church. Yes, I was leading praise and worship. I was doing background vocals and everything. So most of my official church, or my official Christian music training came from the church.
All right.
So I learned from the church.
Okay, so you know what? We are talking about folk tales today as well. I don't know if you love folk tales.
I know a few of them.
You know a few of them. Which is your favorite?
I didn't prepare to have a favorite, but I know a few of the Ga ones. None of them comes to mind readily, but I know a few of them that are actually very good.
Okay.
Probably when you start playing them,
but you like
singing them.
Yeah.
Or when I start watching.
Kweku Nancy and
you know when you said folk tale, I was actually thinking folk music.
No, I talk about folk tales.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, and I love folk tales.
You love it. You were watching by the fireside?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, you're young.
I'm not that young.
Okay, so since you're saying you're not that young, I know people at home are wondering, are you single? Or you're married?
That's something I don't like to talk about.
So you're married?
I don't like to talk about.
Okay, so we are not talking about you being married?
Nope.
So how many children though?
Nope.
Okay.
That's an aspect of my life for now. I like to keep private for a while. Yeah.
Why? What's the reason?
You know, it's me. I want people to focus on me and on my family. Right. Or not my extended family or my nuclear family or whatever it is. It is me for now. So it's all about me. At the right time, I mean, whether I'm married or not, whether I have kids or not, we'll find out.
But you know, once you get into the whole, public domain, we don't have anything like...
Well, they should find out. I'm not going to tell them.
Okay.
Yeah, they can find out if they want, but I'm not going to tell them. So if we
bring out any bad news or negative news, are you going to defend it?
Defend? No, I have no comment on anything when it comes to aspect, things like that. So.
Have you ever been tempted to do secular music? I
was actually a secular producer.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to produce. I wasn't that confident. You know, creative people have a way of, that's why I always say that in this industry, we need a lot of creative managers. We need a lot of managers that can manage a lot of these creative artists or this creative art. Because usually, I was looking for a lot of, what's the name? Is it affirmation or, from people around me. And I didn't get that. So I thought I wasn't good enough. But it took me some time to realize that. And in fact, I think it took me coming to Jesus or coming to Christ and knowing that my confidence or my affirmation, there's a word I'm looking for, it's not coming. My affirmation is not from man. It is God who gives me the approval. And I realized that I do strength from the Holy Spirit. I do strength from my fellowship with God. So that's where my boldness, because I used to be a very shy and a very reserved person.
You?
No, okay, maybe I wasn't shy, but I was very reserved.
Okay.
Like
because shyness, dear.
No, But I used to be.
Really?
Actually, yeah. I can come into a space and it will take me some time to warm up to people.
New kind?
Yes, ma. Okay. So now, yeah, I think God has given me something. And that's where all this confidence and things is stemmed out from. Yeah.
When you decided to give yourself
Yeah, when
to
I decided, yeah.
How many years have you been born again?
I mean, I grew up in the church. But my mom made sure that I knew God, I knew the Holy Spirit and everything. But then, you know, when you get to JSS, my mom used, you know the funny thing, I never went to children's park. I never did anything that like children used to do. My mom didn't allow me to go anywhere. I can plan with my friends. She would say, okay, on the last day, she would say, you're not going anywhere.
Wow.
So when I got to SS, from first year in SS, I realized that, okay, so I can actually stay away from home. Okay, and then I started.
Okay, so that's where the small bad boy team
So sometimes you're supposed to vacate on a certain day. You tell them that you're vacating on a different day so that you come to town, go to your parties, then you come home. And sometimes when I'm in the house and she's sleeping, when we are going to sleep, I don't lock the back door. I'll leave it open. So when she's sleeping, I'll step out. I'll go on, make sure that by 4:30 I'm back.
So how did it all change?
I mean, after doing all these things, I realized that it is not enough. I mean, life is... You know, there are people who are guided when they are growing up. They are able to see both sides of the world, and they have people who tell them, do this, don't do this. Unfortunately for me, I had to figure out a lot of things by myself.
Okay.
I had to make my mistakes and learn by myself. So at a point, I realized that listen, there's more to life than just going out, chilling, drinking, smoking, having fun and all that. So I set out to look for that higher power. And the best place to go was to go to my beginning, my roots, where my mom trained me in. So I remember one day I told them that I was going to go to church with them, and they were very surprised. It was actually Sunday after church.
What, you hadn't been to church with them in a while?
In a very long time. Like, I hadn't been to church in like 5-6 years.
Wow.
Yes, I was out of church like that for a very long time.
I wonder